Oh, welcome, Dr.
Thank you.
It is so cold here today.
Yeah, in a cold season.
Very shy.
Asante kwa baridi kubwa lakini ile sio leo.
It's so cold.
It's very cold. Yeah.
So, Daktari, I've been going through this, your book. It's a very interesting book.
I'm happy you have read it.
I've read it. And, I think people should not look at this book as a memoir.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you because what has been happening whenever I go to the bookshops and people hear it's a memoir, you know, they think, memoirs they think I've talked about myself. The day I went to primary school, I went to here. Then I went to secondary school here. I went to university here. I went for postgraduate. But it is not that way actually. What we have done is, what I've done is to look at a period in life most of us went through. And I think at that time we were young people, so we couldn't understand most of the things that were happening. But over time, of course, we have begun to understand why things were happening the way they were happening. So we have a chance to reflect, to think about, and ask ourselves, why were these things happening? What did they imply? In fact, we even ask ourselves, what has become of us as a result of all those things?
Yeah.
So it's more of a reflection actually, it's rather than a memoir. And also, there's a lot of storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it's grounded on storytelling.
So there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of, we call them music,
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
It's a very humorous book.
Yeah.
So I've been reading this book. The first time I read it, I was so overtaken by humor and all those funny stories. It's a very funny story.
Yeah.
Then, the second time I was reading this book, now I started thinking. I came across different concepts within the book.
Yeah.
And because I've also been discussing with some of my fellow friends who are also teachers.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's a certain teacher here, called Mr. Davis Nyabera.
Okay.
There's a friend of mine. He read the book. Actually, he's writing a guide on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's writing a
good. That's
guide.
good. It's very encouraging. Considering this is the first time I wrote a book of that nation.
It's an interesting book. So, he asked me, and I also reflected immediately.
Okay.
He told me one of the best chapters that he came across is this chapter on money.
Okay.
Chapter 6 on money. It's called "Oh Money, Where's Thy Value?"
Oh yes.
So in this chapter there's an analogy on electric power.
Oh yes.
With money. Yeah. So he has been reading this book. He's finding money being put to we call it juxtaposed with this money. Then we have electric power. We have promised money. So I called here specifically for that particular.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to understand. Because you are technical people, right? So I want to understand with the lens you used in writing this story. What did you mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. But the first thing I need to say is that I've not dwelt so much on the issue of that analogy between money and electrical power. I alluded to it because I was pointing out to something. Now that's what I'm going to explain to you. I was pointing out to something.
Okay.
And I said if money was an electrical or engineering quantity, especially what I call the promised money, then I would give it an imaginary number to deal with it. And why did I say that? Because you know, first of all, which is very surprising and pleasant surprise, when these years I've worked in public transport, I've realized that the way we model human processes is the same way we model physical processes. Yes, in fact, that was very surprising because you look at the way the traffic flows. So we model those are human processes because people are driving cars, people are moving.
Yes.
And it's the same way information flows when it comes to telecommunication. We have a whole subject on information theory that deals with traffic or data traffic. You know, there's so much of it. In fact, I normally say we deal with so much data that when we come looking at the human movement, it's simpler because they are fewer. You know, when you see so many guys, they're actually fewer. Similarly, you find that the way heat flows, let's say in a conductor, is the same way electrical current flows in also in a conductor or in whatever medium. So this is a kind of the data. And sometimes you find that we use almost similar terms, resistance, you know, things like that, conductance or conductivity, you know, so we have permeability. Those kind of words we use the same when they're describing all these systems. So when it comes to electrical power, which I'm quite conversant with, of course, being an electrical engineer, and nowadays I'm not the only one who is conversant because everybody now, you use an electrical heater at home, you use a grill at home, you fire a machine, there's a motor, a generator.
Microwaves.
Yeah, all those microwaves, yes, you're right. So all those things, you find that they use electrical power, and they consume what we call real power. Ideally, that's what Kenya Power should come and charge you for.
Real power.
Yeah,
now, real power is the power used.
They're used by those, consumed by those systems. But for them to be able to consume that real power, we provide something called reactive power.
Reactive power.
Oh yeah, sometimes we call it imaginary power. But they're calculated more or less the same way, multiplying voltages and amperes. You know, they are calculated almost in the same way. But you have to provide this imaginary power for the real machine to be able to consume your real power. It's the same analogy with money. The money that we use, what I call real money or earned money, is what, let's say, you pay me when I work for you. Okay? If I give you a service, you pay me. But what
that's real money.
That is, this is equivalent to the real power, but I've called it in the book earned money.
Earned money.
Yes, you give you a service, you give you some good, then you're paid for that. But when it comes to mortgages, when it comes to loans, when it comes to credit, when it comes to things even like freezer, you have not earned them, have you? You have not earned them.
No.
Or you're just promising that, okay, give me this money, I'll do a service somewhere, and then after that, I'll be able to pay your money. So the value of that money, or you can call it money, is based on the promise that you do the work. You do some work. You don't have to directly for that person, but even for another person. That's why I'm calling it in the book promise money, because it's based on the promise. So and that promise money is very important, because if you don't get credit, you're never going to be able to construct that factory so that you can now start producing goods that now will be equivalent for. We earn you the earned money, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
If you don't get that credit or mortgage, you're not going to be able to construct the house. You need the mortgage, you construct the house, then you continue paying for your mortgage. So that what you're calling promise money is really, very important, because it's what makes us be able to get the earned money. The only problem is, when it comes to electrical engineering, we don't mix real power and reactive power. No, but when it comes to money, we calculate it the same way. That's what the problem is, and that's what you're trying to point out here.
For money, we mix both.
We mix both. We just say, oh, this is money.
This is money.
Whether it came from credit or whether you earned it and went and sold something and put it, they all counted the same way.
A friend of mine told me, nowadays, if I don't have money, but I'm sure my freezer is 1,000 shillings, I am at peace.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah, and those things are out there in the book. The issue comes now, even for that trade of viewers. So, what about if you have so much debt, for example, that you're never able to redeem here, to be able to redeem it and get the earned money, the real money. So, as long as we have to get a way of keeping track of how much of this promised money there is. Because if we don't, then we are going to have a problem at some point. Those are the discussions that are there in that book.
Wow.
So that's the analogy. And you know now, if you go back to electrical power, Kenya Power is keeping track on how much the active power you're consuming compared to the real power. And they charge you. Because the ratio of the real power to imaginary power, or the combined power, is called the power factor.
Mm-hmm.
So they charge you for the power factor. You see there's a lot of my colleagues now who work as the energy managers, they advise factories on how to keep the power factor low. The same way should be happening when it comes to money. We have to moderate how much promised money there is compared to the earned money. Because if the gap is so big, then we are going to be in trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what?
And not just even as a society, but also even as a, and you know this happens. But you know, the society is mirrored at different levels. It mirrors at the individual level, at a communal level, at a national level, at a local level.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the same way an individual does is what the community does, because the community is like a bigger person. The nation is an even bigger person, and the whole globe is the biggest person. You know, it's a combined person.
Yeah.
So if you don't keep track of that, then that's what I'm saying. And maybe students of economics need to, when they read that, they should be able to pick up some of those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting book.
Yeah.
A very interesting book.
Yeah.
So, our viewers, this is the book, The School Leavers Party by Dr. Mshem Gakuru. Find the time, read it, enjoy it, and you will get such mind-blowing ideas from this book.